Hey, dear Tyler, good morning. I hope you're good. I hope you're fine. I hope everything's okay. I hope your week has been fine. Yeah, it's rounding up the week generally, but I hope it's been good. I hope it's been fine. Mine has been okay. I've just been a little down health-wise. I think it's a lot of stress mentally, physically. But that's the price. You have to pay when you're trying to birth something new, something peculiar, right? That's the price that you have to pay. So I've been really exerting myself a lot, taking a little time to rest, but we're still at it. But I'm recovering well, so I'm really regaining strength. Really regaining strength. Anyway, so yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. Then again, I wanted to use this opportunity to say thank you. The listeners have really increased. The listens have really increased for me. It's been, I don't know how best to put it, but just mind-blowing. We've grown from like 12 listens per episode to 37 in the span of a week, and it just keeps on growing, even without me necessarily advertising or promoting episodes. We get listens, and I owe it all to you, the members of the Dear Tyler community, and then friends and well-wishers. Thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you so much for sharing it. I got a very humbling feedback recently. It just broke me, how people are saying that the messages are timely, the words are just amazing, how some friends even listen to it together, It's just, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God will bless you for me. And it just gives me energy to do more. It gives me energy to do more. It's very encouraging. You can't imagine. And as we keep on growing, I trust God that He would help to make the messages, even more impactful. Right, so thank you so much for sharing, and then please don't stop. Keep on sharing. Let's send the message out to Dear Tyler community. I hope for one day that we would have, like major groups, maybe even down to like little cells or whatever, but have major groups online, as a Dear Tyler community where people share their stories and then, just encourage each other. And then please don't forget that if you listen to this podcast, you are Tyler, right? We are all Tyler, right? So it's just our alias and our names. Anyway, so let's get into today's topic. Today's topic, I titled it Ridiculed into Faith and Hope. Ridiculed into Faith and Hope. And I'm going to use two stories to lay the foundation for what I'm about to say. So one of the first story, I heard it way back, I think secondary school or so, and it was a conversation between the teacher and his class, and then the teacher was trying to debunk a whole lot of things about God, so he asked, the question, who believes in God here? And one of the students, stood up and said, I do, started throwing a lot of questions, bringing out a whole lot of research about the inconsistencies in the Bible, and the child, but the student reading have answers. And then he was like, do you know that the Red Sea was originally called the Red Sea, and the Red Sea was based on that time during that era, during the Israelites' exodus, right, from Egypt, that that the Israelites were saying, or the Bible says that the Israelites walked on dry ground, and that there was a parting of the Red Sea. You know how the whole story is. And the teacher was like, do you know that it was just that the water level at that period of time was just 4 inches, right? No, 4 feet. Yes, that the water level was just 4 feet that time. And, based on the whole scientific thing, the child should feel bad about it. And then the child now smiled. And he said that even makes God more amazing. And then the teacher was like, why? He said that my God drowned Pharaoh and his army in 4 feet of water. Another story, same kind of like academic setting where they were debunking, Christianity, or faith generally, believing in God. And an elderly man just came. He walked over and was, had an apple in his hand. Then he now, asked, he said, can I ask a question to the teacher? I was like, yeah, why not? And then he bit the apple. And then after he bit it, chewed it a little bit, he now asked the teacher or the lecturer, the person giving the lecture, and all, he said, this apple I'm eating, is it sour or is it sweet? And then, the teacher was like, what's going on? I was like, yes, this apple I'm eating, I took another bite. Is it sour or is it sweet? And then the teacher was like, I won't know until I taste it. And then the man was like, there, you have your answer. You won't know the reality and the truth about God until you actually give him a chance in your life. Now, there's a part of scripture where I think Paul was saying that it doesn't really matter about how people get to know Christ, in the sense that there's some people that have used the name of Jesus to kind of like take things for their advantage, right? Take things for their own advantage. But at the end of the day, Christ is actually being preached. And people actually end up believing. Really, really believing. Really, really believing. I've had instances where a lot of people have called things unbelievable, God is not able to do this. God is not able to do this. This is a lie. This is stage managed. But I believe in the power of God 100%. 100%. I'm not out to check, whether things were stage managed or if it was fake or if the person really had all of those issues. Do you understand? I'm not that kind of person to go around searching. No, not at all. For me, I believe in God. And I believe that God is able to do amazing things. There's a reason why he is called God. Right? There's a reason why he is called God. So I believe that God is able to do amazing things. And I know a lot of people try to find out that, did they, was it true or not? I've seen a lot of miracles in my life. I have experienced a lot of miracles in my life that to say that they're fake, it's absolutely going to be absurd. But peradventure, a lot of things that we do are. At the end of the day, people really end up believing in God. People really end up believing in God. And I think that it's something that we should be able to hold ourselves with as believers, that a lot of people may have their opinion. I'd never ever forget this this statement made. In fact, this statement that I'm about to share with you, I've said it so many times, but it was the statement that really, really made me very serious about being a believer. Really, really made me serious about being a believer. Way back in Zaria there, I like to call it the Zaria Revival. And maybe one day, dear Tyler, maybe one of these months or so, I will dedicate the month to discuss on what happened during that revival period. From my perspective, I don't have the full details, but the things that I saw, the things that happened, right? Moments that birthed people like Apostle Joshua Selman, Pastor Chin Talk, people like, David Dam, a lot of inspiring people. So, I would definitely share it one day. But the statement that brought me to Christ was shared by Pastor Ejimi, an amazing man. Amazing man. He said something, because I think he was talking in line with what I'm also sharing. Everybody talking about this is fake, this is not true, this is it. He now laughed. He said that the world may have their opinion about Jesus, right? But we have our experience. And it stuck with me, because you stand from afar, right? You stand from afar to give judgment on something else. You've never experienced it. You've never even tried it. You just stand from afar. And I realized that a lot of my knowledge about God at that time was just opinions, Oh, I think this, I think this. But then at that point in time, I saw a people that literally had an experience. The joy on their faces was beyond beyond just this natural ecstasy. There was something burning deep inside of them. In fact, we had a lot of moments where the whole act of ridiculing, I don't know if that's even an English word, but being ridiculed brought people to come and check. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Let me come and see for myself. Made jest of, people were made jest of, all of these fake people and all. But that was, in quote, the publicity. And people, started gathering over to come and see what God was doing. And a lot of people were changed. A lot of people were transformed. What we see as moves of God right now, especially here in Nigeria, you cannot imagine how people made jest of it. Now, anyway, the episode is not about the Zaire revival, but I would definitely talk about it. Now, why am I sharing all of this? There is something that all of these things do, being ridiculed, being despised, being spoken of, it does. It actually brings people's attention to you. People begin to observe when a certain thing is being talked about often. So it means at that particular moment, you need to give in, or you need to, walk in faith and in hope. That's your opportunity. The audience that you are looking for, now has found you. Now you have to make good on your convictions. You have to make good on your convictions, Tyler. There are things that maybe you might be doing. There are projects that you may be handling. You're too you're too ambitious. Why would you think like that? In this Nigeria or whatever community you may be listening to. What do you have? Blah, 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 blah. All of those things. Now, it's your opportunity to take all of that all of the slander, if I could use that word, and transform it into an energy to push yourself forward and make sure that you build on faith and hope for whatever project you might be embarking on at that time. It's very, 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 very important that that's what you do. That you use the negativity of people as your fuel. Use the negativity of people as your fuel. Think about the Wright brothers, how they said that man cannot fly or something. And that was what, I'm sure the amount of times that they tried their contraptions and they must have failed, people must have, laughed at them. There's this very funny, comic cartoon that I saw that, first of all, they laugh at you. They laugh at your idea, right? Then after they laugh at your idea, they despise you, they ridicule you. After they ridicule you, I think they question you or something. After the questioning, they cheer you. After they cheer you, they admire you. And then finally, they want to be you. There are very few people that would believe in your dreams. And that's why they are your own dreams. They're very, very personal. But you can either decide to take what people say and, use it as your standard and be like, yeah, this is proof that I'm not going to make it, or this is proof that what I'm doing is worthless. Or you can take that same energy that they give and you transform it into something that can fuel you. When people like Elon Musk talking about reusable rockets, you get a lot of people in NASA ridiculed him. That was his fuel. In fact, one of the people that ridiculed him, if you know a lot about space travels and all, the first man, right, to walk on the moon, Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was among the people that ridiculed him. Now imagine being part of something historic. Who would have ever thought man would have flown? Man began to fly. Who would have ever thought man would be in space? Man got to space. Who would have ever thought that man would have been able to set foot on another planetary body in space? You are the very man that achieved this seemingly impossible feat. And another man is now trying to do something else, and you are the one saying that it's going to be impossible. You see, you also need to understand that a lot of times the people that you hold in highest regard, the people that you hold in high esteem, would probably be the ones that would be your greatest discouragement at a time. Now, Elon Musk, being the richest man in the world, carrying all of that ridicule and using it to fuel his passion. The last time the last time that they had their testing, right? The testing, or rather, let me say, the testing that worked for the Falcon rocket. I know this may be strange for a lot of us, I know, but just follow. The last testing for the Falcon rocket, the testing that worked, if it had not worked that day, Elon would have been absolutely bankrupt. Like, the company would have closed down. He had taken all the money left, to fuel that project. And once it worked, that was the end. Everybody was like, we need this. You can't imagine the amount of satellites. Before, it was more of like a wonder. I remember a lot of people used to spend time on YouTube, just watching those launches. I know how many or how much MB and the amount of times that I spent watching it. It was such a marvel. Every time I'll just watch and I'll be like, oh my God, I hope there's no accident. I hope nothing's going to blow. Do you understand? And then eventually it has become so normalized that people don't even wonder at it again. So now when people ridicule him and say that he cannot take people to Mars, I just watch it because I'm like, he has proven that he can do whatever he wants. Proven it. Time and time again, he's proven it. Think about electric cars. Yes, they may be a lot more expensive and all, but think about it that you can have cars that run fully on electricity. Absolutely run on electricity. And they can take you up to like 200 and something miles, 250 miles. Like real journeys, and all they just need are charging points, come on. Don't allow the negative reports of people bring you down. Don't allow the negative reports of people bring you down. One of my favorite Bible events is the story of the woman with the issue of blood. One of my favorite Bible events. She had a very, very terrible condition. Imagine having consistent flow of blood for 12 years. Consistent flow of blood for 12 years. I'm not a lady, I don't know how it feels, but I can imagine it being energy draining. I think I've had issues of maybe moments where, like there was insufficient blood. I don't know, let me not sound or wreck the whole medical profession, but let's just say my blood levels were low. And I know how faint I was feeling, blood levels, oxygen levels are low. So, and I feel that once blood keeps on flowing like that, you're going to lose a whole lot of energy. So for 12 years, imagine the weakness that she had been, people knowing her condition and everything, going from one level, one doctor to the other, one physician, searching for help for 12 years, spending all her money on it. She must have been an affluential person. And then seeing Jesus in the crowd. Imagine if she had told somebody that I'm going to meet Jesus, and I believe if I touch the hem of his garment, I'll be made whole. People be like, okay, what is the meaning of that? Blah, 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 blah. Right now, I think in our own church settings, we'll be like, can you imagine? Are you exalting a cloth? There's nothing in a cloth. There's nothing in a cloth or something like that. But that only fueled her. She was like, what's the worst that could happen? I already have this condition. Highest it won't work. There's nothing worse than what I'm facing now. And she did it. And she got healed. Now, this is why I believe she must have told people. Because that story is in Mark chapter 5. In Mark chapter 6, the final verse, it says, and people pressed on to touch the hem of his garment so that they would be made whole. And everyone that did received their healing. That's paraphrasing. So it means that somehow, what was laughed at, what was scorned at, became the basis for people's belief. If you don't give up, if you don't quit, Tyler, if you stay true to your convictions, if you stay true to your beliefs, if you stay true to your dreams, what God told you, what you have birthed in life, if you stay true to it, one day, that's what people would celebrate. That's what people would, gather around and, begin to, celebrate and publicize, want to be identified with. Imagine the Williams sisters, the hours that they spent being African Americans at that time. Who would have ever thought that they would be a household name in the world of tennis? In the world of tennis, like literally, at the point in time, Serena Williams was just like the face of tennis. Imagine all the people that slandered them, slandered their father at that time, but it only fueled their faith. Oh, I've been watching amazing movies, and one of it was, is it something about an underdog, American football, how he missed the draft, and in his first year as a quarterback, he led his team, I think the Rams, to their first Super Bowl. I think, he really didn't have like that long fledgling career like a lot of people. But after they ridiculed him, they made jest of him, it only fueled his passion, only fueled his faith. If you could check out a study about Tom Brady, just go to YouTube and see about Tom Brady. How it was said that he was the least qualified quarterback in American football. Do you understand? There are too many stories of people who were despised but used that to fuel themselves. And see their story. Imagine the person that started Coca-Cola. I think the first year, I think he sold only maybe 7 to 13 bottles just to have a range. I think recently I read that Coca-Cola is the most drunk liquid in the world. Second is water. So just imagine. There are countless stories. On Monday, I'm going to be sharing something that is really going to bless us, right? But what is that thing that they have so mocked in your life? And you have unwavering convictions about it. What is that one thing that they have so mocked in your life, Tyler? What is that one thing? I want you to hold fast onto it and keep on believing. Keep on believing. Whatever they say, whatever jest, whatever jokes that they make about you, use it as your fuel. You may be in a little corner in a village at a time like this, and you say one day you're going to be a global figure and people laugh at you. Don't bother. Use that to build faith. Use that to build hope. There are too many stories of people that have turned things around, even when they were despised. So use that. Pick up the stories of other people, right? Find out people that beat the odds and use that as your fuel for faith and hope. Is that okay? So never be discouraged, Tyler. I really hope that this message blessed you. Yeah, I really do hope that it blessed you. I never knew that it was even this long, so pardon me. But I believe this will be 30 minutes that were worth it, right? So yeah, so this is me signing out. Remember that I love you, I believe in you, and I'm always rooting for you, right? So take care. Bye.